What's up, guys? Recently, I went to a thrift store and picked up some science fiction books. I'm excited to share with you 6 books that I expect I will quite enjoy, and I'm starting this haul off with number 1, Odyssey by Jack McDevitt. This is book number 5 in the Academy series, which features Priscilla Hutchins, and I read one of these some years ago, the 3rd installment, Chindi, which I thought was very imaginative. It was a deep space opera, hard science fiction novel, and I liked the epic atmosphere in it. If I like this one, I just might go back to the first book and read this entire series straight through. Jack McDevitt is a 16-time Nebula Award nominee, and he's won many other awards, and he's written tons of science fiction and short stories. He's a science fiction heavyweight, and I'm totally in for Odyssey. Number 2, The World Treasury of Science Fiction, edited by David G. Hartwell. This is a massive book of science fiction short stories with notable authors such as Vonnegut, Arthur C. Clarke, John Updike, Robert Heinlein, Larry Niven, Isaac Asimov, Ray Bradbury, Ursula K. Le Guin, Anthony Burgess, and Philip K. Dick. I'm a big fan of these kinds of compilations. Here's one from my shelves. The Year's Best Fantasy and Horror 8th Annual Collection. You know, there used to be a series called The Year's Best Science Fiction and Fantasy. They stopped making it, but I want to collect every edition in that series, and I also want every edition in the Year's Best SF. This one's going to come in handy when I'm ready for some hard science fiction short stories. Number 3 is called Fallen Angels, and it's by Larry Niven, Jerry Pournelle, and Michael Flynn. From what I understand, this one is very unusual. It's a tribute to science fiction fans. For once, it's fiction about fans rather than fan fiction. All I know about this book is that it's during an ice age and humans turn their backs on technology. These are 3 authors that I have never read, so with one book here, I get to take all 3 on, and I've really wanted to read Larry Niven. I know that countless science fiction readers have nothing but good things to say about Niven, and I think that this just might be a fun read when I'm ready for something out of the ordinary. Number 4, Fragile Things, Short Fictions and Wonders by Neil Gaiman. I've read one book by Gaiman, his novel Neverwhere, and I was not a big fan of that one. I know quite a few of you really enjoyed it. I want to give Neil Gaiman another chance, though. He's accomplished so much. I know that he has an acclaimed graphic novel series called the Sandman series, and he has many best-selling novels, one of which I recently bought and I'm looking forward to reading, American Gods. It's a kind of a philosophical, weird fantasy thing. I think that I'm going to like it based on the blurb and the recommendations I've heard. And Gaiman has won the Nebula. He's won the Hugo. He's won the Bram Stoker. And he's also won the Newbery Medal. And this book says it's the winner of the Locus Award for Best Collection. Although my first experience with Gaiman wasn't the greatest, I'm in high spirits for this one. About a year ago, I read a book called The Twilight Zone, 19 original stories for the 50th anniversary, and the next book on my list here, friends, is More Stories from the Twilight Zone by Rod Sterling. Now, what this is novelized Twilight Zone scripts from 1961. I don't know anything about this collection, but I think I'm going to get a kick out of reading these first and then going back and watching the old shows to see how they compare. And finally, friends, book number 6, The Wizards of Odd. This one is yet another collection with authors the likes of Douglas Adams, Ray Bradbury, Arthur C. Clarke, Terry Pratchett, Kurt Vonnegut, Philip K. Dick, Ursula Le Guin, Stephen Donaldson, H.G. Wells, C.S. Lewis, Isaac Asimov, and Larry Niven. You know, guys, it's not often that I buy a book of short stories, and I'm glad there were so many collections in that bin when I went into the store, and I'm also glad about the novels that I picked up, Odyssey by Jack McDevitt and Fallen Angels by Larry Niven, Jerry Pournelle, and Michael Flynn. When I finish Fallen Angels, I'm going to investigate Jerry Pournelle and Michael Flynn a little bit further. I'd like to see what they have to offer as far as standalone works on their own. Let me know down in the comments if you've read any of the books that I've mentioned here today. Let me know if you have a science fiction book recommendation for me. Thanks for dropping by, guys. I'll see you next time.